Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, distinguished guests and our esteemed viewers, wherever you are joining us from around the world. I warmly welcome you to another exciting edition of our weekly leadership, business, and personal development conversation. This platform is where we challenge conventional thinking, inspire meaningful growth, and equip you with practical wisdom for life and leadership. If this is your first time joining us, you are welcome to our community. If you've been with us over the weeks or years, I say thank you for continually sharing, commenting, inviting others, and helping us to build a growing network of people who believe that learning never stops. I remain Comfort Eyitayo, your regular host for Connect with Comfort show. And on this program, as we usually inform you, we aim to add value to people on business, enterprise, and personal growth. This show is organized to feature special guests who are usually subject matter experts that helps us to throw more insight on the topic of the day. You are most welcome to join us today. This evening discussion is one that I believe every entrepreneur, executive, professional, student, leaders, public servants, and business owners need to hear. Not because success is bad, but because sometimes success can quietly become our greatest limitation. Before we begin, I'd like you to do three things. First, tell us where you are joining us from through the chat. Secondly, share this broadcast with at least 5 people. And thirdly, stay engaged throughout the conversation because we'll be taking comments and questions during the program. Our topic for this evening is when success becomes a trap. Now, that sounds almost contradictory. Isn't success supposed to make life better? You will say. Isn't success the reward for hard work? Shouldn't everyone aspire to become successful? Absolutely. Success is good. Success creates opportunities. Success changes lives. And success gives influence. Success also provides resources. Success opens doors. But here is the challenge. Many people become trapped by the very thing they once celebrated. A business owner stops innovating because the current model still works. A professional stops learning because everyone already calls them an expert. A leader surrounds themselves only with people who agree with them. An organization keeps repeating yesterday's strategies while the world has already moved on. Someone becomes known for the achievement and spends years trying to protect that reputation instead of growing beyond it. In many cases, success doesn't destroy people overnight. It slowly convinces them that they no longer need to change. They no longer need to aspire. They are made, they have arrived, as for some people will say in the local parlance. And that is where success becomes a trap. This evening, we'll discuss questions such as: why do successful people sometimes stop growing? Why is comfort, not my comfort, one of the greatest enemies of excellence? How do leaders avoid becoming prisoners of their own achievements? How do organizations remain relevant after decades of success? What practical habits keep successful people humble, curious, and adaptable? Whether you are joining or whether you're just beginning your journey, or you have already achieved remarkable milestone, this evening conversation promises valuable insights for everyone. It promises to be an honest and practical conversation, and hopefully a life-changing one. To help us unpack this very important subject, we already have in the house our special guest who experience spans leadership, business, strategy, organizational development, and mentoring. We'll be meeting our special guest shortly after this time out. Please remain connected. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Being relevant in your field of occupation is proof that you are properly educated. When my parents and I were thinking about my university education, Bowen University Iwo was our first choice. Bowen University helps you to get the most of whatever course you're studying and also educates you on how to excel in a competitive labor market. From the day I arrived here, I knew when I would graduate, and my mind has been positively transformed since then, thanks to my able lecturers. My name is Salome. I am a medical student, a sanctuary keeper, and a violinist at Bowen University. To the medical world, remember my name.
Bowen University, for excellence and godliness.
You are most welcome. Thanks for staying connected. We are at the very important segment where we meet our special guest for today. Our special guest for today is no other than Uche Monu. Uche is the CEO and local consultant of Silver Crest Educational Development, educational leadership, school improvement, and advocacy. She is passionate about raising standards in education by empowering educators, strengthening schools, and promoting inclusive, high quality learning for every child. She holds a Bachelor of Arts in French, a postgraduate diploma in education from the University of Nottingham, United Kingdom, and an advanced diploma in educational leadership and management. She is also an alumni of the Senior Management Program SMP 47 at Lagos Business School, a certified Montessori directress. Uche holds an international diploma in the Montessori method of education and a diploma in special educational needs, reflecting her commitment to inclusive and child-centered education. Her journey in education began in 2010 with the establishment of the Explore Creativity Center in Asaba, an after-school initiative designed to nurture creativity and develop children's diverse talents. In 2020, that is 2020, she found Silvercrest School in Lagos, which later developed into Silvercrest Educational Services, a consultancy dedicated to teacher training, school improvement, and educational tourism. Uche is the founder of the Explore Foundation, a non-profit organization educational tourism, sorry, committed to advancing equitable and inclusive education. Through the foundation, she empowers educators, supports school, particularly within Nigeria public education sector, and promotes inclusive learning environments. She is also the convener of the High Impact Conference for Educators, the foundation flagship professional development initiative. She serves as chairperson of the Trainers Summit, a nationwide initiative of the Duke's Infant and Child Foundation, where she is also a member of the board of trustees. In these roles, she champions leadership development, educator capacity building, and community empowerment while contributing to initiatives that expand opportunities for children across Nigeria. She also serves on the boards of organizations dedicated to educational and transformational development. Uche is the author of the Empowered Educator, Raising Standards of Professionalism in Teaching, a practical guide that equips educators to embrace excellence, professionalism, and continuous growth. She has participated in numerous local and international training programs, educational conferences, and professional learning initiatives, continually strengthening her expertise and broadening her impact. Beyond education, Uche is an experienced travel consultant who has organized international educational tours and conferences. Her life's work is dedicated to empowering educators, advancing quality early childhood and basic education, and transforming communities through purposeful leadership and lifelong learning. Uche, we are so delighted to have you with us today. Thank you for accepting our invitation, and we know we are going to have a swell time in terms of great insight. Thank you very much. You are welcome to connect with the
Thank
Comfort.
you. Thank you very, very much, Dr. Comfort, for inviting me. It's truly a pleasure to be here this evening, and I love this topic so much. All right. I love this topic because I know that almost everybody wants to be successful in life. All right. If they ask anybody that question, do you want to be successful? Of course, we want to be successful. But I think that very few people actually um, do what success does to them. We often think failure is the greatest danger, but sometimes success is even more dangerous than failure because it quietly changes the way we think, learn, and relate to people. All right. So,
Thank
my
you
hope
very
today is that as everyone is listening, we will leave with practical ideas that would help us sustain success rather than achieving it. Because it's easy to achieve success, but how do you then sustain that success that you want to achieve? So, I'm glad to be here and thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much. What a wonderful way to start this show. You've already helped us to lay a good foundation for this show by telling us what we that resonates with all of us, that everybody wants to be successful. I don't think there's an exception to that. Thank you very much. So we go straight into the conversation by, like you said, many people
Yes.
want to be successful. Many people spend years chasing success because of this reason. So why would anyone describe success as a trap?
Okay, so I think that's a great place to start. All right, that question is very important because most of us grow up believing that once we become successful, we finally arrived. All right, but the truth is that success isn't just a destination, it's just another starting point because that trap begins when success convinces us that we have learned a lot enough, we have achieved enough, and we have become too important to change. We then become stuck in our ways once we've achieved that success. So over the years, I've seen professionals who have just stopped learning because they have become experts. So they don't see the need for learning. I've also seen entrepreneurs who have even stopped listening because their business is going well, money is coming in, everything is going well. So they feel like they know it all right? Then suddenly the market changes, technology comes, customer expectations change, all right? And they are left behind because there hasn't been any form of improvement or self improvement. So, what I think is that success should be viewed as a platform that creates more value, not as a chair that we sit on and we're just stuck there. So, one question I always ask myself is, what am I learning today that yesterday's success didn't teach me? So that's a good place to start. That question is a reflective question. What are you learning today that yesterday's success didn't teach me? Thank you very much, ma'am.
Fantastic. And that's one good thing to note. What are you learning today that yesterday's success didn't teach you? And that already tells us that there's still more to learn. We should not be
Yes.
complacent, and we should not take things for granted. Like she said, maybe because you are successful, you are now not listening to your customers. It's a very dangerous trend. Or maybe you're a professional, you said you have arrived, they know me, I'm an expert, and therefore there's no need to train or do any more research or reading, or, or skilling yourself in areas that you need to develop. So it's very important why this type of thing happen, and that is actually what the topic is speaking to when success becomes a trap, gets you trapped in your cocoon, believing that you have arrived. Thank you very much for that reason. So, would it be correct to say that success can create comfort and comfort can eventually create stagnation? Like my introduction is not my own comfort.
Definitely not your own comfort.
Definitely.
But yes, your question is very correct. Absolutely. Comfort itself is not bad. All right. Is everybody wants to be comfortable. So we all work hard to enjoy some level of comfort. That's why we work. But the problem is that when comfort becomes permanent, all right. So I think that nature teaches us that anything that stops growing begins to decline. It's a law of nature. If you stop growing, you are dying. So businesses that dominate markets today may disappear tomorrow because they just stop innovating. All right. The same thing applies to individuals. So the question is never, am I comfortable? So the question is still, am I growing? All right. Because growth actually feels uncomfortable. So when you become so comfortable that you are not growing, that is where the problem lies. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That has already even shed light onto what would have been our next question, that uh, get trapped in the identity that comfort or success gives you. So that makes it clear. So what role does humility play?
Okay. So I think that humility is the foundation of continuous growth. If you are not humble enough to learn, it will be difficult to grow. When you achieve that milestone, where you feel some level of pride and you feel, oh, I don't need to know anything else, that's the problem right now. So what humility does is that it says, I may know a lot, but I don't know everything. So that's humility. So the higher people rise, the more intentional they must become about listening. It's very important that as high as you go, the higher you go, the more you listen, the more patient you become. So some of the smartest CEOs we have now still ask questions, all right, in their organizations. You see them hiring people of this younger generation and they want to pick their brains. They want to know how things are going on right now, what's happening with this new Gen Z generation, all right? So some of the best leaders still seek coaching, they still go for coaching. So humility keeps the learning door open. That's what I think. If you are humble, you are willing to
Absolutely.
learn, and you are listening. So that's the role of humility in growth.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for that wonderful response. So, with what we have said about success and comfort and all the rest, should somebody now intentionally seek discomfort?
So I actually think they should, because you know that success and comfort can actually be a trap. So why would a successful person just make themselves uncomfortable to go and pay for a course in Harvard or to go for a training? Why don't you use that money to go and enjoy yourself somewhere? So it's uncomfortable to bring out that money and travel or pay for a course or pay for a coaching. So yes, discomfort is actually important. So every year we deliberately choose something that stretches us. So it may be a new skill like, oh, learn what AI is all about. Okay, when you're scrolling past and you see a course, learn about AI. You know, you pay for it. That's uncomfortable. All right. Speak to a younger professional. People in this younger generations, pick their brains. All right. Read outside your industry. It's another way to be uncomfortable. It's not your field, but you can learn something. You know, go somewhere different, travel somewhere you've never been, or take up a voluntary job somewhere, volunteer in your church or in your local community, just something that is uncomfortable, or take on a difficult assignment. So when we grow, it doesn't happen inside a familiar territory. It's something that must take us out of our comfort zone. So yes, it's uncomfortable. So to grow, you must seek that discomfort. Every year, I would advise. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. With that said, so how dangerous is ego after success?
Sorry, apology. So I would say it is extremely dangerous. All right, because failure usually makes people reflect. All right, after you failed, you can step back, you can reflect. But sometimes I think um, people always think they're always right. That's where ego comes in. Ego quietly takes over when you feel that you know it all. Know it all right? So when you, for example, now when you reject feedback, that's ego right there. When ego would blame other people instead of taking responsibility, ego would stop learning, all right? You feel you know it all. So I think that one of the best habits successful people have and can develop is asking, what am I missing? All right. Going back to that question of humility, which is the opposite of ego. What is that thing I'm missing? So instead of rejecting feedback, blaming people, stop learning, you just quietly ask that question of what am I missing? And that takes some humility. Thank you, ma.
That's it. So we need to be watchful of our ego so that
Yes,
we don't get trapped.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Can mentors help prevent this trap?
Of course, it's important to have a mentor or a coach. Very important. So every successful person needs that one person who can tell them the truth. Maybe not one person, a group of people, maybe from your church or from your circle, or any trusted person that can hold you accountable, so that you are not simply with people who just applaud you all the time.
Hmm?
All right. So a mentor can provide you perspective, a different perspective of things. All right. So sometimes they help us avoid mistakes that we've never seen coming. So sharing with a mentor is very, very important. So I think that everybody needs just three groups of people that they have in their lives, in their circle. So some people ahead of you who know more than you, all right? People who walk beside you, your peers, all right, who you can rub minds with, and people you are helping behind you. So you have someone on top, someone at your level, and people that you are helping. So that's what I think. It's very important to have mentors and coaches in our lives who can hold us
Okay,
accountable.
thank you. That's us giving us that shows us the role of a mentor in our success journey. It's very important. You don't know it all. Some people have been there before you, and you do not have to reinvent the wheel, so to say. Okay, if somebody is watching us tonight and that person suspects or think within him or herself that they have become too comfortable, what is one practical step they can take this week or next week?
All right, so I would say start from where you are. All right, the first step I would advise is ask for honest feedback. If you are humble enough, ask for honest feedback from someone who you respect, who is ahead of you. Not compliments, not
Mm,
applause, but actual honest feedback. So you can
get
ask, for
truth.
example, you can ask someone, if you were in my shoes or in my position, what would you
Mm,
improve? Okay. So that single conversation could completely change the person's future just by asking that question. Ask for feedback. That's one practical step you can take. Just one. Let's not talk about too many, but one step at a time. Ask for feedback, genuine feedback.
Genuine and sincere feedback, and you must also
Yes,
have the good heart to take the truth,
yes,
to embrace the
yes,
truth.
yes,
That is another thing, because one thing giving somebody giving you the right feedback and you are saying no, that's not me. So you must be sincere with yourself. Okay,
yes.
that is good. Some people work incredibly hard to become successful, only to discover that they are no longer happy. So why does this happen?
Hmm. So that question, I would say, is because Success answers certain questions. For example, what have I achieved? All right. But purpose, if someone is working in their purpose, that question would be, why does it matter what I've achieved? All right. So is it the money? Is it the titles? Is it the recognition? All of them are wonderful, but none of them can replace meaningful relationships. All right. Service and purpose. Because some of the happiest people we have right now are people who improve other people's lives. That's the true measure of success, in my opinion, because different people kind of have different definitions of success. For one person, success may mean I have all the money in the world. Another person, I have achieved so much in my career. I have so many degrees. That's success for them. Some feel, oh, I've gotten married. Some women, especially, are married, and that's an achievement. That's success for them. All right. So it is different strokes for different folks. But for me, I would say success for me means that you have meaningful relationships in your life and you are working in purpose, you are serving humanity, and you're improving people's lives. So that's my definition of success.
Fantastic. You are living an impactful life in a
Yes,
way. So that should count for any monetary or financially denominated success. That is good.
absolutely.
So, how important is emotional intelligence in preventing this success trap that we have described so many times?
Okay, so emotional intelligence is indispensable, is absolutely necessary. All right. And technical skills may get you promoted, but I believe that emotional intelligence determines how long you stay there. All right. So leaders, certain leaders who cannot manage their emotions and their relationships and conflict, eventually they struggle, regardless of how brilliant they are. So emotional intelligence is critical. When we see those courses on emotional intelligence, please, I would advise everyone to jump on it, or you go on the internet and understand what exactly is emotional intelligence and how can you apply it in your life. Because success, like I said, your skills will take you up there, but emotional intelligence would keep you there and help you manage relationships and live a purposeful life. Thank you.
They are not hearing you.
Thank you. I'm done.
Oh, okay. At a
Can you hear
time
me?
you now I can. At a time
Okay,
you
I got disconnected. All right. Apologies. It's possibly the network.
understand. Okay. Thank you very much. Many people become known for one great accomplishment or the other. Should they invent themselves in line of what we have been discussing?
hmm I agree. They should constantly reinvent yourself. Keep evolving is what I would say because the world is evolving. The world is not waiting for anybody. It's moving at the speed of light. Look at AI today. It's moving so fast. All right. Technology changes, industries are changing, customers' needs are changing, leadership is changing. All right. So if everything around us is changing so quickly, why should we have to stay exactly the same? So it's important that we are constantly evolving. Reinvention is not abandoning who you are, it's becoming a better version of who you already are.
Okay.
So we're not saying
Yes.
discard who you are, it's just get better, keep getting better, keep evolving and changing with the world. Even though you don't know it in detail, just a bit of every single thing that is happening, that makes a lot of difference. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let's talk about wealth. Can financial success become a trap?
I agree. Yes, definitely. Definitely. Because money gives choices, gives you options, all right? But I believe that if we begin measuring our worth only by wealth, we've entered a very dangerous territory because money comes, money goes. So money should expand our impacts, not our ego. It's not for our own self, it's for impact. That's the reason we're giving that wealth. So real wealth is not just for you to accumulate, it's also what are you able to contribute to society with that wealth you have been given. Because I believe being given wealth, you're a custodian, all right, by the Almighty. So it's important that that wealth it doesn't rule us, all right. It doesn't become like a mini god to us, but it's used to contribute to society and to help those below us, like I had said earlier. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We should not worship money. Money is a
Yes.
tool. It's supposed to act like a
Yes.
servant to us to do
Yes.
better
I
things, to
agree.
make impact. Okay, that's
Yes.
that's good. For entrepreneurs, what is one mistake success often creates?
Okay, so I believe for entrepreneurs is I think that assuming that what yes the strategies you used yesterday would always work. That's a mistake because the businesses that would survive are the ones that keep listening to customers. They are the ones that are innovative. So you see that innovation is not an option; it's actually survival. So if you are not innovating, if you are not listening, if you are not evolving, that's one big mistake. In my opinion. Thank you.
Okay. If you could eliminate one mindset that keeps successful people trapped, what would that be?
For me, that mindset I will eliminate is that I've arrived. I've arrived. All right. So I
Yeah.
don't want to say I've arrived and remain there. That's a bad place to be because I believe nobody ever finishes growing until we go back to our maker. We keep growing. So life keeps changing, leadership keeps evolving. So I believe that learning should never stop. That's the mindset I have, and I believe
Okay.
that entrepreneurs are
So
supposed to have. Don't remain stagnant, keep evolving.
okay. Looking ahead 5 or 10 years ahead, what qualities do you think will distinguish people who continue succeeding?
Okay, so I would say adaptability, being able to adapt to changes that are coming. You need to be adaptable. Curiosity is one of them. You need to be hungry for knowledge. All right, don't stay stuck. Emotional intelligence, which we spoke about, managing your emotions, all right, and how you relate with others. Another quality that would distinguish future leaders will be integrity, all right, being able to be truthful, be real, and people see through you. Then another one will be a lifelong learner, someone who just loves to learn and grow. Then something I would say again is collaboration. We should be able to collaborate because that's the new currency, networking and collaboration. Don't just be isolated in your own cocoon. Go out and see what's happening, collaborate with people, attend conferences, attend events, mix with people. Even though you say, okay, for instance, I'm an introvert, I don't come out, I don't like mixing, but at least in your field or in your church or somewhere,
Mhm.
just find a circle where you can come out and meet people that are like minds with you. Because people who combine competence with character, they will always remain relevant. Very important. So we know you are competent, but you still need to collaborate, you still need to learn, you still need to have integrity, be adaptable, be curious, and emotional intelligence is non-negotiable. Thank you very much.
Very important. Thank you very much for that wonderful checklist you have provided on this unique question. So, if someone is watching this evening and the person has already realized that they have become trapped by past success, what should they do tomorrow morning?
I would say they should start again. It's never too late. No matter how old you are, start from where you are. So read something new, I would say. Call a mentor. If you don't have one, get a mentor. Someone you look up to, someone you admire, who has gone ahead of you. All right. Or you set a fresh goal for yourself and achieve it. So even though you even fail at it, at least you tried and you got that satisfaction from trying. You can meet someone different. That's where I talk about networking and going out to events, or you take one uncomfortable step. That thing that makes you uncomfortable, take that step, be bold. Like Nike will say, just do it. All right. So you don't need a very big dramatic change. It will just be just one step forward in the right direction. Just one little movement. That's how you keep starting.
Thank you very much. You identified what could be the gaps in your life and see areas to bridge that gap in terms of knowledge or, like we said, networking, reaching out to people that can provide you a different perspective to your own perspective that will make things work for you. So that's very useful. Finally, if we want to look at this conversation and summarize it in a sentence or two, what would that be? So, did you get that question?
So can you repeat that, please, ma'am?
Sorry. Did you get the question?
Please, can you repeat, please?
Okay, I said if we look at the conversation we've been having and we want to summarize it in one sentence or two, what would that be? Like, okay, all that we've been saying since we began,
Okay.
let's summarize it in one sentence or two.
Okay, so I would say that success is never a finish line. In conclusion, it's never a finish line. It's just an invitation for us to keep learning, for us to stay humble, for us to serve others, and to build a legacy that outlives our achievements. So that's what I would say in one sentence, in summary.
So that we build a legacy that will outlive us because we've identified the need to be impactful, and that means doing something that is not only for us, it's also ministering to other people's needs. So that's
Yes.
a good way to put that. It's actually been very exciting and insightful discussion. But I would still want to say, like, if you want to advise, even though we talked about success, those that are still aspiring, if you want to advise them so that they avoid this trap that we've well analyzed this evening, what would be your advice to them?
All right. So I'm super grateful and thank you so much for having me on this important conversation this evening. What I'll just love to say, one final thought is that I would want everyone watching to just remember that you shouldn't let your greatest achievements become your greatest limitation. All right. So, in order not to let your greatest achievement become your greatest limitation, I would say you should keep learning, keep growing, keep adapting, keep serving people, keep becoming a better version of yourself daily. Because success is wonderful, but significance is even better. So it's good to be successful, but impact, being impactful, being significant, that's better. So that's a journey worth pursuing. Thank you so much, Ma, for having me.
Fa-
Thank you.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's brilliant, brilliantly put. We
Thank
should
you.
think of relevance and not just being successful
Yes.
alone. So let us reflect on some of these evening big lessons that our special guest has enabled us to have insight on. We've been told that success is a platform, it's not a parking place. So don't think you have arrived and that you can put your gear into park. It's not a parking place. Comfort is useful for rest, but dangerous as a permanent address. Continuous learning is no longer an option. We've been told that is what will keep us reinventing ourselves, will keep us becoming more relevant, and we are not stagnant. So we have to keep on learning because that is even where our special guest started from. What our yesterday experience is not teaching us for today's living or requirement or success. So we have to look at that and make sure that we keep learning. Humility, we have discussed that. That will keep us sustainable. It's very important. When you are humble, you do not see yourself above certain people that you can actually benefit from their own perspective, and it will keep that learning spirit on. Because if you are not humble, you probably say, why would I even bother at this stage to go and start learning, maybe perhaps with my junior and all that. So it's very important. Purpose should always remain greater than achievement. We have also been told that by our special guest. Our greatest accomplishment should never become our greatest limitation. That is one of our advice, round-up advice, and we should note that. Legacy begins when our success starts creating opportunity for others. This is very important. We have said we are not just living for ourselves alone. When we talk of success, we are also impacting other people's lives. So tonight's conversation reminds us that success is one of life's greatest blessings, but it is also one of life's greatest tests. Such tests are humility, success tests our willingness to learn, success tests our relationships, also it tests our character, as well as our building monuments to ourselves or bridging or the gaps for others. The world is changing faster than ever before. Technology is changing, business is changing, as well as leadership. Careers are changing, and the people who continue to thrive will not necessarily be those who were once the most successful. They will be those who remain the most adaptable and ready to continue to learn. May we all have the courage to celebrate our achievements without becoming imprisoned by them. May we remain lifelong learners. May we never become too important to listen, too experienced to learn, or too successful to change. So, to everyone that joined us this evening, thank you for investing this in your personal and professional development. To everyone watching around the world, if this conversation has challenged you, inspired you, or encouraged you in any way at all, don't let it end there. Share the broadcast with your colleagues, friends, family members, business partners, and other teams that you work with, as well as professional networks. Start conversation about it, reflect on it, most importantly, apply it. where it concerns you too. Because information only becomes transformational when it is put into action. We have people joining us today that are regulars, and we have those that are new. I say thank you to all of you that are able to join us. We appreciate you. My special appreciation goes to our special guest for today in the person of Uche Monu. Thank you very much, Uche. You have done us proud. Thank you for sharing not only your expertise, but also your wisdom, your practical insights, and your passion for helping people continue growing long after they have achieved success. We deeply appreciate your time and the valuable perspectives you have shared with our audience this evening. It has truly been an exciting and enriching conversation. Remember, your greatest competitor is not another person. Excuse me. Your greatest competition is the temptation to stop growing because you have already succeeded. Keep learning, keep serving, keep improving, keep dreaming, and keep reinventing yourself. And never allow yesterday's victories to prevent tomorrow's possibilities. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our platforms. YouTube channel is Comfort Eyitayo. Instagram and Facebook account is at Comfort Eyitayo. You'll be notified whenever we go live. Until we meet again next week with another inspiring conversation designed to help you lead better, grow wiser, and make a greater impact. Stay safe, stay curious, stay humble, and keep becoming the very best version of yourself. I wish you a continued growth, meaningful success, and a life of lasting significance. Good night. God bless you, and see you next week. Bye for